Hey, so we're about midway recording and we've just realized the mics have not been working.
We've been using bad computer audio, so apologies. It gets better at 40, huh? 40.
Not just life, this episode gets better at 40.
But also 40 and flirty,
Yeah.
huh?
We had a conversation about re-recording this half of the episode, but frankly we enjoyed the first half of it so
Yes.
much we decided to just keep it as is.
So stick it through if you don't want to. Hey, there's a bunch of other episodes.
Yeah, that's right. You can hate us
Not
if you
other
want.
podcasts.
Yeah.
Just this podcast. But other episodes, please stick
Yeah.
with us.
So you have been warned. My name is Carl.
My name is Oscar.
And this is
Who Would Watch This?
Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where you watch a film, chat about the film, and then try and figure out who would watch this.
Today, we're talking about Zathura, a space adventure.
Good.
You can't forget that,
Can't
kid.
miss it.
Anytime I talked into my Apple remote, they were like, can't find the movie Zathura. And I was begrudgingly like,
What
a
were you?
space adventure?
Wait. You were talking into your Apple your Apple remote.
Yes.
You talked about Apple Watch. Carry on.
No, I
thought you were
wish.
very elite. But no.
My Apple Watch, get me Jean Favreau. I like to imagine he's French, but we know he's not. Zathura currently has a 3.1 on Letterboxd, a 6.3 on IMDb, and a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. Oscar, what's the plot?
Two young brothers are drawn into an intergalactic adventure while their house is hurtled through the depths of space by the magical board game they are playing. Magical, huh? Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know what we're dealing with here, huh?
Game's got a mind of its own.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I have a new lease on life. When we recorded the Jumanji podcast, I realized the hero was the board game.
Yeah, I think so.
So-
The board knows you want to teach things, and I'm hoping that this board can do something for us. You know,
I hope some children learn a valuable lesson.
it sounds like you're shaking your head saying you don't want that to happen. It seems like you want those kids to die.
Sorry, nope. They need to learn, and Zathura's going to keep them safe. Even when you think it's not, it's going to keep them safe.
Carl, before we chat about Zathura, the space adventure, should we go outside?
A space adventure.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're right to apologize.
John, I'm just broken. That wasn't on. Okay, that wasn't on. Let's go back to last week, huh?
Yep. Oscar, Zathura.
Zathura. Okay, this is huge. Just finished Jumanji. Loved it. Great stuff. We were going to watch Zathura because like, that's shit. I remember as a child.
Yeah.
No, Jumanji is the bad Metacritic one. This was an indie darling, a critical success, made no money.
It's sort of the Blade Runner 2049 of my generation.
Yeah, it's the Vanu of I don't know, Jumanji.
Of the Jumanji, of the 4 Jumanji films.
Yes.
It is the Blade Runner 2049 of them. I loved Zathura as a kid.
Me too. It was so good. I just think every little moment, I'm keen to rewatch it and get all that. I'm like, oh, remember when they did that? I'm keen to be nostalgic. I don't. Well, I hope it hasn't. I can't remember what I liked about it. I remember thinking it was good, but I also remember thinking that's just Jumanji in space.
Yeah.
And being like, how dare they just take it? Take it.
Yeah. When was the last time you watched it?
Oh, like, since it came out.
Anything standing out in your head core memory-wise? Because I have a few where I'm like,
What's your core memories?
I remember the robot for sure.
Yeah, that was really great.
I remember...
I remember being semi-scared.
I remember being like threatening. I remember the sister getting like frozen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the lizards. Obviously Dax Shepard.
Mm.
I've always sort of remembered Tim Robbins. At least I think it's the dad.
No, I remember. You know,
And
I feel like as I've grown older, gone. I think Tim
Robbins was in that.
I guess I've just created. I guess I just remembered. I guess I've just Googled who was in it. Oh, Tim Robbins. Oh,
Yeah.
that was the dad. I made a core memory.
Yeah, until I saw Shawshank Redemption, he was just the guy from Zathura.
To many, he still is.
Yeah,
To many, he
as
still
well
is.
he should be.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, Oscar, who do you think will watch Zathura?
Oh, just big fans of. I guess if you sort of look at Jumanji and Robin Williams, and you're like, I would love to see you in the stratosphere. I just don't think many films give you that option. You know, very rarely you're watching Mean Girls and thinking, what would that like be in space? You know, what would the Knives Out look like in space? You know, what
Damn,
would
that's
Star
rad,
Wars?
yeah.
What would Star Wars look like in space? You know,
What would Star Wars look like in land?
yeah, famously, I would like all of Star Wars condensed into one location. So you know, the Death Star is just like 20 kilometers over there. I'd prefer that. Or the opposite, which is who would watch this. Carl, who would watch this?
Yeah, I think it's just that Jumanji in space is a great sell.
Yeah.
So surely they're just like, if you watch Jumanji, you would watch Zathura. and Jumanji made like $400 million in the late 90s. So
And still makes money. Like, surely it was still in the zeitgeist. They're like, fuck, I guess we can kind of make a sequel, but I guess Robin Williams is going to ask for too much money, so we'll get 2 children. That's kind of makes up for it.
I think it's a shame that the new Jumanjis have come out and been such big hits, because it probably means there's no reason to go back to Zathura.
No. Well, it's just those new ones. I've not seen the last one, but they're different films. I think they're more action, films.
But they're like, that's the game comes alive.
Oh, yes.
Like, you're not getting... You're not being like...
They've elevated it already.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I go back to like a different elevation that didn't work?
Yeah, that's right. I would love it if after they're done with this like trilogy of new Jumanji movies, they do a trilogy of Zathura
ones?
movies.
What would that even be like?
I don't know. I don't know
guess-
how you'd swing it, but
I
they
guess
swung
you'd-
the Jumanji
I guess
one.
you'd go into space where they're like throwing the stuff out.
Well, you'd have to get Colin Hanks on board
Of
first.
course, yeah, of course. He's kind of the linchpin of the whole series.
He is.
Yeah.
It's actually goes Colin Hanks and then Robin Williams and then Josh Hutcherson.
And then the board.
Sorry,
know?
the board's so low.
The board's very low.
You don't need a board in Jumanji.
No.
Carl Zathura, my god, what a roller coaster. More of emotions, less of the actual film. But hey, how we feeling? Do you want to get into it? What do you want to do?
I was in awe
Yeah.
the entire film because again, unlocked a moment of my brain and I just kept on being like, I can finish a lot of these sentences. I could do the world.
Yeah.
When it finally came up and Tim Robbins was like, no, 3-day dad week this week, 4-day dad week next week. This like I was like, wow, I really just remember it all.
Yeah.
So I was having a ball because I was remembering the feelings I had as a kid.
Me too.
All through it.
This starts great. I remember all the emotions. I remember him watching SpongeBob and then turning it off. That's a show for babies. I'm like, buddy, I'm watching that right now. Okay, I freaking love SpongeBob. I thought it was crazy they will do it, watching things that I watched. I guess I'd never seen a new movie in 2005. I guess I was just my parents like, no, you're gonna be watching Fellini. I'm like, no, come on, let me watch Favreau. But no, so this was crazy to me that they had the things I had.
Yeah,
I loved it.
For sure. I think they would have been a lot more in tune if they were watching American Crime Story.
Like
Who did Glee?
Ryan Murphy?
Yeah, they should all just be watching the latest Ryan Murphy show.
That's 2005. He didn't have anything going on.
When was Glee?
That's 2007 or 9 even, I think. Let's get into it. It's all looking lovely. I'm over the moon. So far, like, Jon Favreau is
This
like...
house?
This house?
This house is beautiful.
1930s Americana suburbia. It's gorgeous. It's this nice little patio around the side. The house is gorgeous. They've got a dumbbell.
Yeah,
Why?
that's
I don't
so
know.
good.
I'm happy for them.
At one stage, Tim Robbins is like, I'm fixing up this house. I promise you'll like it one day. I was like, if these kids don't pull their heads in and enjoy this house, I'm going to be furious.
The GFC was like, I don't know, 2 years away. We should get into the film, but so far, Tim Robbins, is it Tim Robbins?
Yeah.
Tim Robbins' job is just drawing cars. So I don't know how much money drawing cars does, but he's got a drawing car.
That's what
job.
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is he a car designer or just a fan of
Just
cars?
a big fan of drawing
'Cause
cars, and you
there's-
can make a killing back in 2005.
Because there's just the poster of Bullet,
Yeah.
and I was like, did he draw that poster? That would have been before he started. What are they saying? Or does he just like cars?
I think he draws cars, and before, I don't know, the internet and DeviantArt and Etsy, and he would sell pictures of cars, and you could make a 7-figure salary on that in
Is
2005.
that what you genuinely think his job is
I
to
think, yes,
draw cars?
To draw cars.
That's it.
Because
He's got an Etsy operation,
Yeah.
is what you think.
Yeah.
He's
in
bought
a very-
this house
Yeah.
with Etsy.
Yes, again, 2005, different time financially. You could make a lot of money. Honestly, he's divorced. They were together. Too much money.
Crazy too,
That's what
because they
split
set up Tim Robbins because look, when you can't get Robin Williams, you got to get Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
They get Tim Robbins, and it's weird that he doesn't have the plot of like you should appreciate your children more, because I've never seen two children love their dad so much on film, and the dad be like, I haven't got time,
Yeah.
and he is not a villain, but simply a busy man.
Busy man, but he's trying. He's trying his hardest.
It
It's
made me think this is what Jon Favreau was happening behind the scenes. The kids were like, but we want to be on set with you. And he was like, no, okay? It's a 4-day dad week next week.
They're fighting over. We get introduced to Walter and Danny.
Yes, so Walter is Josh Hutcherson.
Yes.
Danny is that kid from
Crazy
Crazy
Stupid
Stupid Love.
Great stuff. They're fighting to play catch. I've never played catch. I feel like I saw it in movies.
Buddy.
Buddy. Didn't have a good father. He never threw a
Damn.
ball at me and we threw the ball back. It just seems a bit tedious.
I'm going to get you a mitt.
Thanks. I needed that.
The tear that came down your eye.
Damn.
I'll get you, buddy. Do not worry.
I feel like there should be like, I don't know, like a cricket to it or like a bit more of a game to it. Just don't drop the ball.
Yeah. You gotta learn to throw and you gotta learn to catch.
Is that because that's the mitt, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, because I feel like you learn to catch and throw pretty
I
easily.
think it really symbolizes such an early part of childhood, which is why American films latch onto it.
Yeah.
Because the kid has to be old enough, literally, to throw and catch.
Yeah.
Which I think happens so early on.
Mm.
And the only way to be taught properly to throw and catch, according to American film, is by your dad.
Mm.
Don't ever let your mum help you with sports.
Of course not.
It's just Tim Robbins needs to teach you to throw and catch.
If you have a bit of a bouncy ball, you can use a wall as well.
Mm.
You know?
Actually,
Yeah.
Who needs a dad when you've got a wall?
Who needs a mum or a dad? You got a wall.
Yeah.
A sturdy wall.
Yeah.
That's my
You
parental
got a
figure.
hidden wall.
Oh, hidden fences.
It's like hidden fences.
Yeah. Do you remember that was what they kept calling it at the Oscars in 2006?
Oh,
Hidden
yes.
figures. They kept calling there was hidden figures and fences, and they kept merging them together.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
nobody was happy.
No one was happy.
So here's the thing.
Mm.
Here's the thing with throwing and catching.
Yeah.
Danny can't do it for shit.
Yeah.
And he has a little whinge about it.
Yeah.
And the dad has to be like, look, you've got an active imagination. You're going to be one of them kids.
Listen, Walter's, he's sporty,
Walt-
and that's good. I mean, the
To
guy-
quote Walter later in the film, Walter's got a girlfriend, and he's in the 3rd grade, so he's sort of the best. Danny, yeah, you're gonna have an active imagination.
Oh, he's like, listen, okay, you're smarter than him, and as a child, you go, oh, thanks, I'm not good at sports, but I'm smart. Throw it away. If you can catch, you'll be happier in life. I gotta tell you, we got told we were smart, barely, and now look where we're at.
I'm all thumbs. I've never caught anything. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a real failure, and people need to remember that.
Oh yeah, but you've got an active imagination, You can dream about a better scenario you're in.
Yeah,
God.
for sure. I can dream of a better life, which is what I'm usually thinking when I do this podcast. It's crazy. Josh Hutchinson's like got his ear against the wall, being like, "What are they talking about in there?" And they're like, "Is my imagination better than Walter's?"
Yes, Tim
Yes.
Robbins dejected as well. He's
Yeah.
like, "Yep,
So much better.
so much better.
So much better.
You
like,
can't. He's gonna be able to run and be like way cooler, but you can imagine things.
Here's what I'm saying to you, son. Walter's gonna have a great life from now until he's about 25. You'll excel from 27 on.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be 2 years where you're both failures, and your mum and I are gonna be like, should we just put all of our eggs into your sister's basket?
Yes.
No, you'll excel come 27. Do not worry, son.
Just wait a long
Yeah,
time.
it's
For
gonna
you,
be rough.
5 times your lifetime. Until then, you're gonna be sweet, man.
Yeah, this is, and here's the thing. You're a son of divorce, so you'll probably also get divorced later
Oh
in life.
yeah, you got divorced. You got that baggage.
Walter's gonna marry the first girl he meets, and she's gonna treat him like shit. I'm
but
not
she'll
afraid to
treat
say
him.
it.
But they'll treat. It'll be powerful.
Yeah,
It'll be
Tim
great.
Robbins then looked at the door and goes, "And I hope you heard that, Walter." That's a threat.
Christian Stewart's like, don't worry, I've heard it all before. We're all gonna be failures. Christian Stewart's here.
Yep, she accurately plays however old she is.
14.
Oh, whoa! Thought for sure she was like
Maybe
17.
younger. Maybe younger. I think
Yeah.
14. I think 14.
It seems like she had just
Maybe
gotten.
15.
It feels like she plays this movie hungover and then acting like she's got to go to a bigger party than that night, right?
Yes.
That's the performance. That's why I thought she was like 16, 17.
I think it's a bit edgy. Maybe it's about 15, 16. It seems like just a older... I can't really tell how old the kids are. I think
No.
the young kids, like...
40.
Yeah. Ish.
Whatever Danny DeVito is now.
I think so. And then
Josh
Walter-
Hutcherson hasn't aged in 20 years.
No, he's a little bright spot in this film, isn't
He is. He's Little Manhattan.
he?
It is funny because they wait so long to announce there's a sister.
Yeah.
Like,
They really-
so long.
It's kind of like the big reveal. It's a cheeky movie because essentially we go, all right, we've got the first thing. We're introducing characters. We're introducing the house. I'm like, damn. Okay. We've got 4 players, that thing. Tim Robbins is like, right. He's like, I gotta go to work. You two behave. At the moment, these 2 brothers freaking hate each other. They're butting heads. Walter's growing up too fast, and Danny keeps imagining a better life. And quite frankly, he should live there.
They accurately nail brothers.
I think so.
This is my brother and I's very young
Yeah.
relationship. I was like, wow, they're just nailing the yelling back and forth, how different the two of you are. You guys will come to love each other.
Yeah.
But there's growing pains here.
Oh, I love they're like watching TV, and Josh Hutcherson gives such a great performance. Like he's just like, you want to play? No. He's just like one word. He's quick.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
This is a really fun. I think it's a pro and con to the film, because I think at the start when it's just them two playing the game, it's like, wow. Because I think you get the POV of like, wow, I feel like I'm a kid, I'm watching this. The second an adult comes into this, I'm like, damn, I feel 27.
Yeah.
I'm watching two kids argue, and I can't stop doing that. It's loud and annoying. But yeah, until then, I'm in it.
It is a real shame, I think, that The Lion King doesn't work out for Jon Favreau. Because I think he actually has a real sense of what a child enjoys. When you look at Elf, the first Iron Man, Chef.
Yeah.
The Jungle Book.
It's Cubans.
Yeah, they love those
Cuban
sandwiches.
Oh, they're so good.
But he actually does, in my opinion, really nail what I think a child wants out of like a film, I guess.
Yeah,
I just, no matter what I'll think of this movie at my age now, this was such a fun movie.
I love this as a kid.
Let's bring up the fact that Danny loves to cheat.
Yeah.
He loves to cheat. I'm bringing it up now because it's going to come back later.
Yeah.
But Danny loves to cheat. I'm going to say right now, I think Danny sucks.
Danny sucks.
Danny sucks.
What qualities do you not like Danny?
I mean,
His
Danny
lack
is a
of
whinger. He
athleticism?
whinges.
Yep.
He's a cheater.
Yep.
Look, let's face it. Danny needs to get some friends.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
I think he loves his dad too much.
Yeah.
That'll be toxic. I think it's weird that these two kids have picked their dad in the divorce because they don't ever want to leave him, right?
Isn't it weird that we never see the mum in
It's
this
so
film?
weird we never
it's
see the
it's
mum.
weird, isn't it?
Mm.
And the only other female character is just put on ice for most of the film.
She's put on ice, and then
Literally.
some bold things happen, and we'll get to them.
We'll get to that. But it's odd they've left a lot of, I guess, just pretty cliche stuff. I guess good for them for not touching it, but then also like weird to not do anything with it. Really.
For sure. It is, broad strokes wise, it is really funny when you compare Zathura to Jumanji, because Zathura's just going, what if we just started with the two kids?
Yeah.
Rather than be like, it's the game getting buried, and then we move forward in time, and then we go jump forward in time again. It's almost like, because by the time Dax Shepard comes into the movie, it's almost like if you were meeting the Robin Williams character without the context.
Yes. And they kind of give the sort of sad backstory to him as well. They've taken a lot of stuff, but haven't not earned it, but it is very weirdly paced in the sense that it's like, I feel like the first act, I'm like, that's a structure. And then the middle, you kind of get then like another, then your film kind of restarts again. And then you got like 3 acts there, which are like...
Yeah, it definitely
10 minutes.
cools way down to almost build back up again,
Yeah.
which I think is like a detriment to the movie.
But they find Zathura, you're right. There's no like... But I think maybe that's because it has only been like, 5 years since Jumanji? It's like, you guys know, it's a board game movie, so they just find the board game. You know the stakes. It's magic.
Yeah. We also learn little sprinkles of what Tim Robinson's life is throughout the movie, and it doesn't seem good. When you see Walter sitting in that single leather chair facing the TV, and then later they're like lighting a couch on fire, and Walter's like, that's Dad's nap couch.
How embarrassing. Imagine if someone came into your house, your kid's like, don't touch that, Dad naps on there. How oafish.
And what's this leather chair for? For him to sit alone and watch sports.
He didn't want the leg room. He wanted he wanted it all compressed. He wanted it all in his face. No extras. Just like his kids. God, it's so sad. But they find Zathura. I had this board game.
You had this board game?
Yeah, can you believe this?
Did it wind?
It did not wind. It did not
it spit out cards?
Did not spit out cards. It did not make meteors or robots appear. It was similar to, I think, Mousetrap and maybe the Game of Life.
Was it also a 2-player game?
No, I think you could have as many as you wanted. Not very film accurate, I know.
I'm going to tell you right now, one of the weird things about this is that it's a 2-player game only.
I feel, in my brain, I feel like there is 4 like rockets at the start, but maybe I'm misremembering. There are 2 tracks, you're right.
There's only 2 tracks.
Yeah, odd.
So crazy to just... There's only 2.
Which is crazy not put Christian Stewart in the film as like a 3rd, and then maybe Dax Shepard becomes a 4th.
I just thought it was a real shame that I would have even been happy to have Tim Robbins around.
Yeah.
To be honest, just for some diversification. Because it feels very... I think because the game isolates them all like away, and then on top of that, you haven't really got any older characters. it feels very small because the cast is so small in comparison to Jumanji.
100%. You look at Jumanji, they go outside immediately, and we're stuck in this little house. God, it's a little gorgeous house.
Yeah,
but we don't.
And they film the hell out of it.
Oh yeah,
they are blasting that set to pieces, and it's sick.
It is really good. It's really fun. I love this early camera work. I feel like they go, we're gonna have a function to a scene. They go, we're going to start here, we're going to move the camera over here, and then we're going to follow through here. And it has like a payoff. And it's like, that's really nice directing.
It does. It has constant... It does all of the stuff that you expect that they do in children's live-action movies now that they just don't do.
Yeah.
Which is they set something up and then they pay it off. Walter and Danny run around the house and he slips and hits the side of the kitchen. The robot's going to make the same mistake later.
Yeah, really.
There's just really good details like that. The little cards that are popping out here and there all end up paying off in different ways throughout the rest of the game. There's like really good hints of stuff like when Dax Shepard has the exact same card as Walter. There's just good, it's all there.
Yeah.
And it feels less, at least in a script, at least script-wise, it's a lot less lazy than some of the other stuff.
There's a lot of effort thrown into this. It's the Jurassic Park guy, isn't it?
I think so. I think it's David Koch.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The guy that wrote Mordecai.
Wow. Good for him.
Who doesn't love Mordecai?
Well, I've been watching it a few times. It's great on a plane. You gotta watch it on a plane.
Every plane I've been on, I've gone, no. A stewardess has come over
Get
and
off.
gone,
No. You're a flight risk. We've been over this, Carl. Get the fuck off here.
We're landing in Bangkok. Somebody turned on Mordecai again. We're so sorry, everybody.
This is the worst September ever.
We've been asked to ground immediately. Somebody has put on 20 minutes of Mordecai. Oh, God.
Danny starts the game.
Really quickly, sorry. When Daddy comes out with the game, it is the size of him. It's so comedic.
I remember as a kid, I remember getting our board going, this is piss weak. In Zathura the movie, I shit you not, maybe 2 meters long this box. It doesn't end. It doesn't end.
It's the biggest box I've ever seen. It seems mean to let this kid lug this around.
Jon Favreau and a cigar in the back. You're gonna lug that thing. We put weights in it as well. It's gonna be so hard for you to lift.
I imagine when they were casting the kid, they were like, this one's a good actor. Bring in the gang.
The police system, like, cheese and hum. There's like a drum scene. There's a whole ceremony to it. And that's how he got the role. Similar for Crazy Stupid Love.
You could hold that up for how long? 1 minute? Tell the other kid he could go home.
Shoot the other kid. We don't need him. Sacrifice him to the board.
This Danny's great. All right, we're committed to this. No need to screen test with Walter. We're good to go. We start shooting Monday.
Start destroying the house.
Stop.
They start playing Zathura. I do love the little twist, and I love the card popping
I
up.
love how they roll. Yeah. It's conceptually perfect.
Okay, where are we ranking? Okay, the Jumanji board, this board. Where are you putting them?
This is the better board.
Okay,
This is the better board.
Okay.
I think Jumanji is the better game.
As in like the prompts and stuff that pops out?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm going to tell you right now, this game's a little bit more lazy. Jumanji never wanted to repeat itself. They use some of these cards like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
That wish card doesn't stop coming out of the game.
It's crazy to give a wish. There's also a lot of and it's good for comedic effect, but a lot of just move 3 spaces forward.
Yeah.
That shit would not fly.
They loved being like, go back.
Yeah, go back a couple
Go
of spaces.
back. Take a step back.
Is that a chance card?
That was the thing. I think it was lazy that Zathura had chance cards, but I think it's way more accurate, and I loved it as a detail.
I like the board game because, like, the other board, like Jumanji board, was like that is someone being spiteful and being like, "We're doing this, we're doing this." Whereas this one felt a bit like, it's a bit more predetermined.
Yeah, and I think the way the track moves is cool, and I love that they're on little chains. I think the whole mechanics of the game is great. This Zathura's the better board.
The art design's still like delicious.
Fantastic.
I love it.
It is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
The cogs and stuff. They're like, no, we're going to show you inside. This thing's moving.
It's so good. I feel like this. I would love to know how many of these they built, because this would be genuinely. I would be proud to own this prop.
Yeah.
Like I would. You could be at like Martin Scorsese's house and he's taking you through all the props he owns.
Here's the red slippers from Wizard of Oz. I'm like, dude, is that the fucking Zathura board right there? He's like, yep. That's half of it. Favreau loved me. Okay.
Favreau cut it in half. God, he's fair.
I also love the font on the cards, Futura.
Yes,
That looks
it's great
stunning.
fun. Oh, also the fact that the cards are like a cream.
Yeah.
They're like not
It's
a
a nice
white.
off color.
Yeah, it's a great off color.
God.
Everything about whoever the graphic designer was
Yeah.
and like the prop designer, give them an Oscar.
Yeah.
They should give out an Oscar simply for best prop.
Yeah.
And you can nominate one thing from your movie, and we get to decide it,
Yeah.
not the Academy.
You know what? Just real quickly, for who the Watches Awards, we need to make that.
Oh my god, we should do
best
it right
prop.
now.
God damn.
We need to get a whiteboard because
We
I'd
do.
love to start. We should start
We
mapping out
need
the
garbage.
awards.
We do need garbage.
We need way more garbage in here.
Yeah.
Now that you've got a light,
Oh yeah, now you can see
we
things.
can see in
Yeah.
here. We should have boards everywhere.
It's
We
crazy.
can write
Look
on
to
this
the left.
mirror.
There's another whiteboard over there. Look at that. There she is.
Wow.
We
Chalkboards galore in here.
God, there's like 7 in here. It was really dark. Could not see shit. Okay. Yeah, the font's gorgeous. Absolutely love this font.
The game begins. Meteor shower.
Yes.
I love. Again, I think this is the style of detailing and just fun that doesn't go into a lot of the fast-paced live-action movies nowadays. But I love just like the asteroid going through the card. Just fun little stuff like
I
that.
don't know how they do this effect. It looks great. All the meteor holes in the thing. They've just done one room. They're hiding the chimney, but it looks really good. It's definitely like a mix of stuff, but it looks fantastic. It looks like they just blew up little bits of the set. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it. It looks
Yeah.
great. Everything that they do in terms of consistency on the destruction of the house is just really, really well tracked.
Yeah.
Just they're really on top of it. It's great. I wonder if they had to. I wonder how they shot this.
I think they.
You'd have to do it by room, right?
No, I think they literally work not backwards, but like forward. They're like, all right, we're going to do it in chronological order, and we're going to destroy the house.
Yeah.
And we're going to film the first and last scene start. So then, just like they were just that way continuity wise, because it gets fucked up.
Yeah.
Imagine a rug. God, you wouldn't be able to replace it.
Ironically, Jon Favreau here is quoted in the IMDb trivia as they simply rolled the dice on how they'd shoot the film.
No, they twisted the key.
They twisted the key.
Press the red button. And hit
The
a
card
number.
came out and was like, "You're shooting the credits."
They just shot out with like the run sheet for the day. Like, oh wow.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
That'd be great.
People
huh?
would love that. It always annoyed me and still annoys me to this day that they don't leave the room.
What do you mean?
Run out of the room.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
They're like headless
What are
chickens.
the rules here? Because I feel like Jumanji was a lot more spiteful. This one definitely feels like it's a bit more rigid. Like, well, we'll just do this room for today.
It does. It does seem very, and it doesn't seem to have destroyed the room above them. Right? Because even though the asteroids needed to come from other rooms, they only wanted to land and hurt
Yes.
that room.
Yes.
I guess there's a bunch of other holes though. I don't really know.
I don't know. I feel like this is the only one that only does one singular room.
Yeah, because it makes you think, oh, maybe they'll do this for all of them.
Yeah.
But then
They
the
got
robot
extra.
goes for every room.
Yeah.
So it's
It's like
totally
a force
fine.
field, yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's this point they look out in space. Now, as a kid, I thought this looked great. I still think
It still looks pretty good.
pretty good, right?
I don't think I'm actually going to be mean about anything visually about the film.
No.
There is a little bit where you go, that's a bit dated now. But for a movie,
What do you think? Just what do you think's dated?
I don't think it was. I think it was just like a few shots where I'm like, oh, well, that's like a CGI sub in, or that's like there's just like some stuff like when the robot sort of switches from being CG to practical.
Yes. But I think
But
that's
it all is
I think it all
fantastic.
looks like
And
really
what year
good.
does it come out?
2005.
Phenomenal that this movie looks as good as it does.
It's
in
crazy.
2005.
It's a shame. I don't know if it's really gone a big rewatch, but I think it really probably should because it does hold up. Like,
There's no reason children shouldn't love this. There's absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
It's
got. I think even maybe it's just scary. I'm not sure what like sort
But
of.
that's
goes.
fine.
I think it's
I
fun.
loved
It's
a good
healthy.
scare as a kid.
Yeah.
The first Jumanji's spooky.
Yeah.
Spooky as hell. Spookier than this. But this is like, I feel like this is what maybe more like threatening. I guess like a killer robot chasing two kids through the house feels very...
I remember being terrified of it, but it's good.
Yeah.
I want that.
So they're in space.
Yes.
They're upset. They don't know what to do. So who do they need to go to?
And they gotta go Christian
They've
Stewart.
got to go to Lisa.
When you're in space, go to Christian Stewart. That's the motto.
That's
you know?
what they
That's
say.
what they say. It's a classic catchphrase. Real fun. They bring it to the board game. They're like, hey, look at this shit. It's fucked. Not just look out the window. The board's very cheeky. It's like, go back 3 spaces. Anyway, she just gets frozen now. Then she gets... Sorry. Then they roll it again. They're like, no, watch. And it gets frozen for 5 turns. Looks great. Loves the mannequin.
Yeah, I like the mannequin. I think the room looks really good as well, all frosted. I wonder... One of the things that made me sad was I was like, she's not playing the game.
No.
Why is she getting punished?
Yes. It's
Like,
cruel.
Why is she the one getting... Why that room?
It's
So whatever
a cruel...
room she walked into?
Well, it was the card was like, your crewmates have been frozen. Seems cruel to throw her into the mix here.
Sure
I guess
does.
she's in space, so already a bit of a cruel thing.
I wonder
Is it the house that you get taken up? Like, what's the parameters
is it
of the game?
Is it always the house?
Yeah.
Like, if you were to play this in a field, does the game just be like, oh, I'm just a regular game.
Yeah.
I won't do any magic.
No, it's got to be under a roof, okay?
Yeah.
Okay? If we look at stars, I hate that. Unless it goes...
The game just starts being like, play me in a house.
Just pop out cards. Like, you'd love a roof under this house. Come on.
That's right.
What? And would you need walls? Like, is it kind of like if it's just if you're in a field and you've kind of like a barn, but it just has like a slatted roof.
The interior of the box probably needs to be like, this is a space adventure.
Yeah.
Play me in a house.
Yeah.
1 to 2 players.
Have other people around.
Yeah.
We'll fuck with them a little
Yeah.
bit. We'll just do shit to them, huh?
Best house to have, 7 bedroom.
Oh yeah, you've got to have, and a dun bell would go well.
Deep
3
plumbing.
to 4, yeah. Not under an electric wire, otherwise
Yeah,
you're really. We've had some dicey moments.
You need a pilot light for things to pay off.
Couch, preferably for napping.
Yeah.
You need a lot of props to burn. Make sure you also have a wish in you as well. Just have that.
Always have a wish in your back pocket. Play with somebody you have an odd relationship with that may need fixing.
Yeah, it feels like Jumanji. Like Jumanji game was like, all right, I'm in the cockpit. This feels like just the autopilot. They're like, all right, make sure you guys find someone to bond with because that's sort of what the game's going to do. Hopefully,
I wonder if the game's like, oh my god, these guys tick off everything. Like this is perfect.
This has never happened before.
This is so good. We can use that astronaut from earlier. Like we get to use all our ingredients. Thank God.
Now we're like, okay, we're in it. There's 2 of them. I'm still in the film. I'm loving it. We get this cunty little robot girl.
I do love Josh Hutcherson's like, we'll beat this really quick. I'm in 3 rolls, I'm already halfway through the game.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you are just ripping through the game.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, well, here's the thing, and like I don't know if you're very familiar with speed running. I reckon you could speed run this game.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: you roll it quickly, you can get this done.
If they both just sat in the chimney and just went,
wish robot. You're quick. Constantly they go, what was that? It's like, don't bother.
Absolutely.
Just don't bother. Keep twisting that key. We can be done in 5 minutes.
That Shepard's he's rushing through the game, just swimming in space.
And you're like, fuck
Holy
me, Shepard.
shit. Oh my god, don't you finish that before me. Oh, the Zorgons are getting there. For fuck's sake. Oh, the black hole's already here. They haven't learned a lesson.
Shit. It is.
Carl, we're back. The mics are fixed. Look at us. We're thriving, huh?
God, the last 10 minutes have been absolute hell.
Hell.
What a... Anyway. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like it's fun for the listener to be like, wow, they're struggling.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It was a wrong decision not to record this live, but hey, that's just how things go now.
I feel like it's, we can be upfront.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When the audio things happen, it's fucking crushing.
Terrifying.
I went and sat in a chair and sulked for 10 minutes before we've continued to go on. We were like, I need a break. I am enraged. We've consulted others, being like, "Would you listen to that audio?"
It was pretty much just like, "Do we just quit? Is it over? Is it over?" And it was luckily the mics turned back on. But
I was ready to go home. I was ready to just absolutely pack it up, go home. Podcast is over.
Ironically, we were divorced and we're bickering. Maybe we need a little Zathura of ourselves, huh? We need a deadly robot to come crashing through our house, and that's what happens now,
Maybe
Carl.
we need a space adventure.
Good stuff. Carl, the robot's in the house, okay?
The little robot comes out. It's
Yeah.
tiny.
It's adorable.
Puny.
Adorable.
I love Josh Hutcherson's like, at least I got a robot. The robot gets so massive and
Terrifying.
evil, and it looks fantastic.
It does. It really does. I think it's like a blend of practical stuff. Just terrified me as a kid. However, I did think functionally, it's crazy. It's like, all right, I'm 3 meters away from my target. I'm going to use the rock. The rock
rockets.
It's a bold move. And listen, I love a little panache, a little pizzazz. This is the wrong time to use it. Just step into it.
I love how clumsy the robot is.
He's a bit of a klutz.
This robot is an oaf.
Oh, it's a very oafish. Because I feel like the presence is wow, but he's got little chicken legs, he's got a big body, and he just can't do it. He's got his hands, he's all clawing up. I feel like if he fell over, it'd be adorable.
Oh, absolutely. I love when it gets stuck in the brick. That's great animatronics. When
Yeah.
it's like trying to shake itself out.
Yeah,
And
really
it gets out the blade to chop out the brick. It's just great. I'm all about it.
I love every time it walks through a doorway, it just smashes the doorway. The robot's a vibe. Terrified me as a kid, but they defeat the robot, luckily. I love this. This little, like, Frank Oz puppet comes out of it. It's just like...
It's so Star Wars-esque, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like... Beep, boop, 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 boop.
It's like that little, like, thing in the lake in the first one.
Yeah.
It
No,
pops
it's in the
out.
garbage.
Yeah, the garbage.
The one in the garbage chute that's like... Huh?
Huh?
Goes away.
And it's great. It's great this little actor's getting some more work, you know? That's what I'm
thank
happy
God.
for.
Yep.
You know, it's been a big 40 years, but good it's back in big
Finally got its new
Yeah.
had a real who's that guy from that was in Indiana Jones and then Everything Everywhere All at Once. You know how his career was like
Oh
back in a
yes,
big
yes.
way.
This little robot from the robot is really, and you know, it's a sad he got snubbed, but you know,
Best supporting robot for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Totally should have gotten
It was 2005 though. Crash swept, and the little robot in that really just it popped.
The robot in Crash is so good. It's one of Matt Dillon's best performances. Right next to Sandy B. Wow. They're like, we need to keep playing
Yeah.
if the robot's going to keep running.
Yeah.
The house tips. This is great. I love the no gravity house.
Yeah.
Crazy Kristen Stewart doesn't shatter.
She should be brittle.
She should
A
be
million
so
pieces,
brittle.
a million
I was
pieces.
worried for her safety, and I knew she was going to be okay. But I was like, I think they're playing this for comedy, but I fear for her safety.
Yeah, no, you immediately 1,000 pieces. It's very upsetting. It's looking great. I'm vibing it. However, I am getting a bit like, damn, it's just disaster stuff. I feel like Jumanji had a bit like, let's take a pause, we'll do a go, and then we'll have a little character moment. Really, this is just two kids getting fucked up by a board game.
I do think so far both movies run into the issue about half the way through.
I think so.
Where they go, now the mystery's gone and we've got our bearings. We're now just playing a game.
Yeah.
I think that's probably one of the things that, at a minimum, the newer Jumanji movies are probably able to like handle better in their pacing is they flat out go, there needs to be a villain and something for us to get.
Yeah.
So at least when it locks into being a bit more generic, it's still really moving forward to a climax.
Yeah.
Rather than just things keep popping about
Yeah.
and we've just got to keep getting rid of them.
Yes, and it feels like a weird motivation, just kind of like it kind of breaks on itself. It's like, guys, you just need to smash this out.
Yeah.
Like, be quicker.
Just be really fast.
like,
gang.
it's annoying the plot keeps going. We're going to pretty much grind it to a halt until you figure us out. And we're watching it like, well, we've got 40 minutes left. Let's just get over this, huh?
I do also really want to call out Josh Hutcherson has some incredible line readings and facial deliveries. I love, like, get me a juice box, biatch.
It's all popping. I feel like you'd be like, he's going to be a star.
Yeah, absolutely. You go, that kid's going to find a bridge.
Yeah.
And another girl's going to find a bridge and her neck's going to get broken. But this one's going to ironically have an imagination.
Shit. Where's it set? District 12.
That's right. This is just a young Sholto Copley. Josh Hutcherson pulls this face when he gets to move ahead 4 spaces, and it's so cunty. It's like a There you go, Danny.
They've been doing like
right at his brother. Just what do you think of that, Danny? You fucking idiot.
moments away from falling into the sun, but like I'm still beating you at this board game.
Oh, Danny. Am I
And
the
quite
best?
frankly, I don't think he needs to overcome this competitiveness. I think it's a driving force for him in the sports world, and he would absolutely crush it.
charming
I think
as
the
hell.
the game makes him soft. The game makes him soft.
Does I think
And not for ball.
the game
Softball.
the game
Carry on.
the game makes Danny better,
Yeah.
but it makes Walter worse.
Yeah. It's taken down our star athletes, and at this podcast, I gotta tell you, we're big into sports.
Massive into sports.
Yeah.
I believe a sportsman is dating one of the biggest celebrities in the world now.
Yeah.
I will not confirm.
Before I
who I'm
was,
talking
yeah,
about.
I wasn't familiar with this whole thing. Now I'm listening to, I won't say her name, but you know, Ms. Swifty.
Oh, who are you talking about? I was talking about Thomas Brady. being married to...
Go on. Who's he married to?
Being divorced. Being divorced from Giselle.
Giselle. She's
See,
she's
I
a star.
remember.
I guess we're big in Latin sports, I guess. She's a Latin pop star, isn't she?
No, that you're thinking of the...
Am I thinking of the literal
You're thinking of
Gazelle?
Zootopia.
Yeah,
You're thinking of Gazelle.
Well, she's from Latin America. Is that not also where she's from?
Isn't Shakira Gazelle?
Oh, yeah, I'm totally thinking that.
Crazy. You were like, is Tom Brady dating the Gazelle from Zootopia?
I thought that's the bit they're doing in Zootopia, that they've just literally got a woman who's like called Gazelle playing a gazelle. I thought it was comedy gold. Quite frankly, I think Zootopia dropped the ball.
Here's all I can say is Zootopia's better than any sports game I've ever watched.
Zorgon's attack, Carl.
Zorgons are visiting.
Sorry, my mistake. I didn't know the nomenclature for Zorgons.
During this time, they roll and they get Dax Shepard.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on Dax?
I think it's a hindrance to the film. I think he's doing great. However, the second he's in this film, I go, like I said, he's the adult, and now it's just two boys. And I will say, I do remember distinctly him eating a lot of food. I remember thinking as a kid, that was gluttonous. Very gluttonous.
But it's funny because both of them have gluttony. Because I
Yeah.
feel like this is the same sandwich and apple that Robin Williams eats.
Yes. I don't know what it does, the jungle or Zathura does, but you must just get real hungry, for good stuff.
Look, off the bat,
Yeah.
I want to discuss two things here. One, Dax Shepard is the older version of Walter.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the twist.
So, no, you need to know this as you're moving forward. Because he is the older version of him, what life has he lived?
A sad one. I remember as a child being, this is upsetting, and now I'm also agreeing. It's been a good, 20 years alone in space. And like the jungle, it's pretty hospitable. Space is even worse.
I'm just like, so where did he get that suit from? He's got dog tags?
Yeah.
Did he join
A military of some sort.
service
Yeah.
within Zathura?
He's done a Star War.
I think the shame is that the game... One of the things that I enjoy in Jumanji is that the things that start coming out of the game give you a demonstration of the life that Robin Williams was living within it.
Yeah.
But the things that are coming out of this, other than the Zorgons and the fact he knows how to defeat them, there's no sprinkling of like what was he eating?
Space is pretty
How
empty.
was he living?
Yeah.
Like what was going on?
I think that's the thing. We'll get into the twist and reveal. It kind of works, but it does make it a bit more upsetting. I guess it's just a bit more magical in the sense that like we're not going to go into his life because I'll be honest, the mechanics of it are a bit just messy.
Yeah.
You need to be human on a planet.
I think this movie is trying a lot more than Jumanji, at least, to do these sorts of things.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate them trying that. The issue with Dax Shepard coming into the movie, though, is I think he should really be entering and having so much energy. Like, needs to be giving, like, Robin Williams coming in loud and hot. Like,
Yeah.
I think what should have been saving the middle of this movie is a new character coming in, amping up mystery, but also, like, Dax Shepard should be funny.
Yeah.
He should be so funny, or he should be so charming.
Hey, I don't think he's really got a joke.
I don't think he's really good. He's super serious.
I remember thinking he's cool though.
I remember thinking he was cool as a kid as well. But this time I was like, oh, I think he's a dull character.
Yeah, I think so too. And you're sort of left with these three, and it kind of feels like Dax Shepard's just like, all right, I'm just gonna kind of do the game. You guys spin, I'll figure it out.
They do a lot of yelling. I find that the brothers yell a lot in the middle, and it's a bit grating.
That's what I remember. I was like, is it because Dax is here and I'm like, we've got a different POV? And the guys are kind of like, we can actually just make them proper kids. They're nailing kids. It is just annoying.
Yeah,
though.
for sure.
I feel like this middle bit is quite, I don't know, it just doesn't feel, not needed, but it feels like they're waiting until the end of the film to kind of go get Kristen Stewart back in and then do the lizard thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't really tell you what happens in this middle, really.
It's so he enters and he's like, we're going to get rid of the Zorgons, turn off all the lights.
Yeah.
Now, why did the house have so many lights on? Like, it was so
Carl,
many
this
lights.
is a 7-story, 28-bedroom, beautiful house. It's got some lights and a pilot light. Did not know what a pilot light was. This is the light that's on so you can light the furnace. What's a furnace? Is that just a big fire under your
So this is what I don't understand is, are they telling me that my gas cooker has a little blue flame there indefinitely?
No, that's what your thing is for.
Oh, it puts on that blue flame.
I think that thing sparks, and then that's what does it.
But why did he take off the base and the blue flame was just there happy?
I don't know. I think that might be an old thing that I guess American safety standards are like, well, we can have just a little light there, so you don't have to do the thing.
I've never forgotten him blowing out that light, and I don't. It's always just been like.
I'm glad you said that too. I don't know what's. And this is really the podcast. Just remember that. Yeah, I do.
I think that's why I thought he was cool.
Yeah.
I think him knowing what to do in this situation did make him cool.
Yes.
And I always wondered why Walter wants him out of there immediately.
I think he stole his sandwich, and I think he's a gluttonous man and a gluttonous boy. So glutton sees glutton. They respect it, but also they fear it. So you gotta get him out of the house.
Yeah.
And honestly, just like keep him around. Like he's doing well. Why harsh the vibe, man? He's a vibe harsher, Walter.
He's definitely a vibe harsher.
Yeah.
Walter's a bit sour.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say it.
But you need that in sports. You need the
sport.
grit and determination
You need to
and
be
a bit of sour.
Never met a sportsman that wasn't
That's how
sour.
Olivia did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it snuck up.
It's a thinker. It's a thinker.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's stupid.
Yeah,
That's what it is. It's absolutely stupid. Okay, one of the things that I wish the movie had done that I think would have made the middle more interesting is I don't know why they choose to keep it a twist that he is Walter. I almost think it would be more interesting and more fun if they all knew.
Yeah.
I just think that would create a more interesting dynamic.
I think so, because I feel like for the rest, the middle, it feels like they're like bumbling around. I think they're just trying to they're snuffing out little things, and you're sort of left with two bratty kids.
Yeah.
And the spaceman just doing his own thing, and it feels very rushed at the end. It feels like the last. I was surprised. I felt like it was dragging on so long, and in the last 20 minutes, I'm like, damn, the lizards haven't shown up. Kristen Stewart isn't here, and we still got the wish to do.
Yeah.
So they're just like bang, 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 bang. It's very oddly paced, but I
It
get what
is.
they're trying to do with this, but it's upsetting.
So Danny's cheated,
Yeah,
and
because we established he's a cheater.
he's a sore loser.
Yeah.
That's the thing that irked me is all through the game, Danny is actually really shitty to Walter. Walter's rolling great big numbers left, right, and center.
That's the thing. 'Cause what do you get for winning the game? Like, honestly, it feels like Jumanji.
You learn a lesson.
No, I know, but like that's fine.
Winning.
That's fine.
He got a brother out of
Oh
this.
no, I'm agreeing. But then really it's a team sport, really. We're all in it together, like Mario Party 9, you know? You're in a big car and you're driving around. You're all trying to get to the end.
Warrior's gonna hit you.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Bowser.
all lose.
Come on.
Is that not it?
It's Bowser. You've seen the movie.
The film?
Super Mario? You've seen the movie, haven't you?
The Bob Hoskins one.
Yeah, it's great.
They're plumbers.
He cheats and then gets sucked out the house. Pretty horrifying.
It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, are they gonna kill that kid?
Yeah.
Now I do want to bring up whether or not do we think what are the logistics of breathing in space here? Because it's clear that if you're in the
glad you
house,
brought
you're
it up.
fine.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with that rule.
Yeah.
But Dax Shepard enters the film with a helmet and then flies out to leave without a helmet.
Yeah.
Which makes me think you can just breathe in space.
I think it's Jimmy
But then
Neu-
why has he got a helmet?
It's Jimmy Neutron rules. I don't know if you're familiar with the Jimmy Neutron.
The Boy
movie.
Genius?
Boy Genius, yeah. You're in a spaceship, you're kind of fine. You can breathe in space. Just don't go to like proper, like, there's kind of like, there's like shallow water, shallow space, and there's like deep space.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Good rules.
Thank you, yeah. If you're kind of near something, you're kind of fine. You know, there's enough
Yeah.
oxygen keeping it in.
Yeah.
I think that's the general rules.
Honestly, I was going to go on a big rant, but loved it.
Yeah.
I'll let it be.
Yeah.
Johnny, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Favs, pick up the phone. Don't listen to the voicemails I sent you.
They're vile.
They're vile. I got pretty shitty about it. I'm sorry, David Co-op as well. You're more... Listen to the ones I sent about Mordecai, but you can skip over these ones about Zathura.
I like you going like a bit like flip-flopping them. Like, just skipped every second one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And another thing about Mordecai.
Anyway, they say that Christian Stewart wakes up, finally his 5 turns are up, but we're at the end of the movie.
Crazy it was only 5 turns. It feels like a lot more turns were taken.
I
in my
think because
opinion.
they're bumming around with that robot for weeks,
Yeah,
it
they
feels
are.
like.
It feels like
And the
they-
pilot light takes, they're like, we're going to show everyone turning every light off. It takes weeks.
Danny's running around for ages, and Walter's turning them back on. Who's turning all these lights back on?
God, he's a good sportsman.
Because Kristen Stewart's awake again, she just turns the pilot light back
Yeah.
on. unbeknownst to her.
Yeah.
Bec-
I think that's when we're saying it out loud. It's like we spent a while turning off the lights, and then Kristen Stewart turns back on the lights, and then things come back. It's just a bit of a...
She's so inactive, it almost is offensive to tune into her, like, plot line.
This late, yeah. It feels like save it
So
for the
far,
end.
she's slept and then gotten frozen, and you're like, wow, is that a good character you've written?
Well, it's powerful because she walks into the film and goes, man, who's that spaceman? I want to fuck him good. And the
Hated
film
this.
goes, this is fun. This is funny. This is good.
I think I wouldn't... It
Go
wouldn't
on.
be
Defend
so...
incest. Go on.
No. I'm just saying how it's shot. It's really weird. They shadow, like, Dax Shepard's face, so it's just the eyes.
Yeah.
And her lines are literally like, I'll never believe you. You're such a protector. Like, so over the top. It's like, what just happened to you?
Carl, the board suddenly is, Jumanji's a cruel being, but this Zathura, pretty beautiful. Gives you a wish. Gold card. Looks fantastic.
It does. The astronaut's stressing out. Is like, don't you fucking do it, Walter.
He's just immediately negging him because Danny and Thing had a fight. He's like, Walter, don't fucking do it, man. I'm in your goddamn head. I know what you're doing, you fucking freak little bitch. Fuck you. Don't even do it. Don't even do it, bitch. I swear to God, don't you fucking do it.
I understand after that fight why he wished him away.
Yeah.
Because Danny was a nuisance. I'm on team older Walter.
I'm on
wishing away Danny.
I'm on old Walter's side, and I gotta tell you, I think old Walter should have seen. I would have loved if he saw the situation. Went, you know what? I was regretting the wish. Now seeing this, totally on board.
This is great.
This was annoying.
This is so good.
I did the right thing.
Why didn't... I love the, like, why didn't you just wish us away?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just wish the game to be over or to be ahead?
It's a good way to get rid of the glaring plot hole.
Yeah.
It's like, he's a dipshit.
Why would you trust a kid?
God,
though?
he's stupid. He's got no imagination. That's why, Carl.
I would have loved it if he'd kept the football. They make a point that he never kept the football or the football never existed. I would have loved him to keep that football.
Yeah.
Because then you win something.
Well, here's my thing now. If you can get a wish from this game, I gotta tell you, you gotta farm this. You should be spinning that wheel key, smashing the button, getting a wish, and then once the game's over, if a wish stays, that's crazy.
I wish it was Mario rules, and like as the game's ending and they're all getting sucked into the black hole, somebody's there being like, "You get 3 wishes, you get 2 wishes."
Just bullshit. Like you turn on the most lights today. Good at you. You turn a lot of pilot lights on.
You were frozen the longest. Have a wish. But he had wished his brother away, and I'm all for that. After this moment, the brothers realized they should probably be putting aside their differences.
Yeah.
Because this guy literally wished his brother away, and that scared them.
Yeah, it scared me, and I think it scared them too. It went, damn, you're sad as hell. Remember when he was gluttony eating those sandwiches? Bad vibe. I want you gone. I don't want ever to be living that life again.
We have this weird interaction between her and Dax Shepard where his eyes are like...
They're glistening.
They're glistening, and she's like looking up at them and is like, I'll never leave you.
Have we learned just beforehand that that's Walter's... I guess we're giving context clues that it might be...
that it might be the brother.
Yeah, and the writers are like, all right, let's bring this weird. Let's make this weird now.
It's just how that it's... I think because it's so weirdly shot on top of the fact that it's weird.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I feel like if you don't know that it's going to be the brother, it's fine because then you sort of forget and then it's reminded as a last minute joke and you go, oh, weird. They'll make fun of that forever.
We both didn't know, yes.
Yeah.
But
and then it ends and then you're like, but on a rewatch, knowing the context, you go, ooh, don't do that at all.
No.
You know, like you're like, well, it's a long time now. It feels like it just doesn't work.
I gotta tell you, I think Jon Favreau is a bit French and I think this does work. Standing by this, okay? I'm standing by
After
it.
all, his name is Jean Favreau.
He knew. He was like, I just watched this great film. Yeah, we've got to put that theme in the film.
That's right.
So what's the theme?
I just watched Amelie.
Yeah.
This is going to be a real Amelie moment.
So much incest in that.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got to sprinkle that in our film.
Just there being like, all right, Dax Shepard, Kristen Stewart, I want a lot of Amelie from you in this scene. And 3, 2, 1, click, black and white have got cigarettes.
Speaking of cigarettes, the lizards are back in a big way.
Oh my god, how much would the lizards froth a cigarette?
Oh, here's the thing. Their whole thing is like, we love burning stuff.
No, they love nicotine.
Yeah, they're just puffing a big stack of nicotine. Honestly, here's the problem. They've got tobacco.
Yeah.
They've easily got that. It's getting flame.
It
That's
is.
the tough part.
It is.
That's the tough part.
They've
And that's the
definitely
whole
got
mission.
it. Wouldn't it be crazy if Zathura was just a game to get lots of tobacco?
Yeah.
The lizard's just like, we need a portal to Earth to just get tobacco.
It's a long-winded way, but God, the smooth blend of the tobacco, it's so fresh.
We've designed the game so it seeks out divorced dads and their silly sons. So you know they'll be smoking.
Don't worry, they need an elaborate house to set it up, and we'll be fine. We'll be good.
I would just love to meet the game maker of Jumanji and Zathura.
Yeah.
I would love it. Why do we think the Rock and the Jack Black version of Jumanji wasn't Zathura? Do you reckon they even...
I think the IP of Jumanji is better.
Stronger. Do you reckon they even considered doing...
No, I don't think so. Well, I think Jumanji is a strong brand. Robin Williams. This bombed. No one liked it.
It did.
Yeah.
I also, when I got bored in this, I started looking up, because I just assumed this was written as a sequel.
Yeah.
Or whatever, not realizing it was based on the actual sequel, Zathura.
Yeah.
Only to realize I owned this guy's book.
Whoa.
Which is called like The Special Fig.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is, if you eat a fig before bed, your your dreams come true.
Gotcha.
And I just loved that book.
Yeah.
And I love the illustration in it. And then I looked that up because I was like, that would make a fun movie. And Paul Feig is making a movie
Soon?
Yeah, like the one that did
Like
Bridesmaids.
and
Yeah,
everything.
he's
He's
doing
got
one.
a what is it, Bite of Peach or
Yeah,
something?
like a Magic Peach children's thing. So I don't know what'll happen there, but finding all that out, that it was the same guy that did like the Polar Express and wrote the fig thing.
Yeah.
Great.
I gotta tell you, I'm glad we're both getting our childhood books. Harold and the Purple Crayon's coming. I'm pretty excited. It's crazy we're getting...
You're excited for Harold?
No. I'm keen to be angry about it, but hey, who cares, you know?
Look, things happen. Danny's of use.
You've nailed this plot. Anyway, the motions are happening.
Things they realize they've lost the game.
I
The
just
Zorgon's attack.
I just think it's a lot of... I'm surprised at
It's a
how...
lot of noise.
A lot of noise. A lot of sort of like... The camera looks nice.
Yeah.
But a lot...
Zorgons look great.
Yeah.
They look great.
So good, right?
Yeah.
The lizard, the little tongue.
Yeah. The way they extend their mouth and neck, like when that one goes to eat the two of them. Lisa gets a big moment where she shoves a piano at one and is like, Lisa's upstairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, is that meant to be a moment for your character?
Well, I think it's just the moment.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything.
I guess she was upstairs the entire time.
Yeah.
I guess it's the...
They really encapsulate she was upstairs, and then she announced she was upstairs,
Yeah.
and that's what she was there for.
She knew where she was eventually
Yeah.
and pronounced it well.
Here's the thing, an arc's an arc. Don't get snotty with me, you know? Yeah, that's pretty great stuff. Some of these kids didn't get an arc, you know? We get one final, I think repeat. This felt a bit bullshitty. It was like, repeat the last turn you just did, and that was make a wish.
Yeah.
So now you can make a wish, Josh.
And he wishes for Dax Shepard's brother back. Turns out it's Danny.
Yeah.
Danny goes up and the two Dannys touch.
This was like avant-garde for me. It's like, I don't know when I was 8, so this is like...
This is 2001.
yeah.
This is Interstellar.
Yeah,
This is...
Tree of Life. Like I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, who are we?
Yeah.
What are we? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It folded upon itself. Beautiful, stunning.
My
Watch
mum
this now.
turned to me and went, that's the best Terrence Malick film you'll ever watch, Carl. You'd just be happy you got context for what occurred.
Yeah, she was snooty about it. It's just like a cigarette as well, black and white. She's like, that's a Favreau. That's a Favreau.
It's a Favre. Carl, we're going to chuck on Emily. Look away. Put the DVD in. So anyway, the two Dannys touch and one disappears,
Yeah.
and Danny's like, that felt incredible. What feeling would it be?
Yeah, that's the good high of MDMA. I can tell you right now.
You reckon?
He wished for one, the spaceman to go away, and he was like, and if there's a bag of coke just on the side, great stuff.
Turns out they'd just gotten into their single dad's coke stash.
Oh, here's the thing: he's naps, and the nap couch and a nap couch is a crashing couch.
All of the coke was on the top of the box, so when he blew the dust
Yeah.
away, he was like, "Oh wow, magic's in the air."
I don't know what this means. Did he absorb his memories and stuff? This horrible trauma of being in space for 20 years? I don't really know. I think similar to Jumanji rules is like, they just kind of forget. The game will sort it out mentally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: the game can't hurt you.
Game gonna hurt you.
It's the best game ever. It can't hurt you. It's never hurt a fly. All you do is get taught a good lesson. Also, Zathura turns out that's a black hole.
Yeah.
but it just sucks you back to where you are.
Back where you are.
And Josh Hutcherson's all like, "Don't you push that button?"
It's pretty sneaky, huh?
It's so sneaky of him from around that sad single leather couch.
Oh, then Tim, as you say, sad leather couch.
Yeah.
Tim rocks up and goes,
Yeah, he's like, "You left a groove in it."
He's gonna.
He's like, "I forgot this stuff," and
I forgot my red pencil, and everyone knows red cars are the best one, so I need the red crayon.
Why'd your mum leave me?
She took all the red ones. I'm left with green. No one likes green cars. It's yellow, red, and blue. Everyone knows that, but I'm left with green and indigo. It's a weak car color. This monologue goes on for 10 minutes, and it won him the Oscar.
It's so good. This is like, I mean, we all love Shawshank, but we remember Tim from Zathura.
Yes.
This and the Emerald City,
Of course.
or the City of Ember,
One of them.
or the Emerald.
No, you're thinking of the Great and Powerful Oz. The Emerald City.
That's right. Wicked. Part 1. This song.
We get a little. I guess we end on a little Josh Hudson going, "Hey, still want to fuck me, Kristen Stewart?" And then
She's
the
just
film
like,
goes to credits, and then we're like,
yeah, they're like, okay. Imagine coming up with that ending being like, we'll just allude to how weird this situation is now. Then a bike's gonna fall, and it's directed by John. Are we happy with that as the ending of a children's film? And everybody went, "Yep."
Yep. Carl, who would watch Zathura?
I still think, even though like it drags a bit, and I think it gets lost in its noise, it's still really charming. And
There's
still
a lot.
of
There's
fun.
so much to get out of it. I think all the practical stuff's
Yeah.
so interesting. I think the two kids are pretty good.
Yeah. I think all the acting's like
the directing's really good.
It's probably the big change from like, I think Jumanji is like a fine directed movie, but like this I thought was really
I think so.
They're really thinking about where they're doing their house and the practical and everything.
I think the limitations are there. Like they're like,
Yeah.
we have the whole thing's set in a house.
Yeah.
Jumanji's like, all right, we're gonna go to the store now. We'll do a set piece over here, so you got a bit more limited there. Yeah, no, I think it is good. I
actually think this is one of those ones where it has the perfect sort of who would watch this, which I think if you're a child and I think if you're like 6 to 12, this is for you.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be way more boy heavy because the female characters really are so thin in it.
You get was one.
Yeah, you get one, and they're upstairs and frozen the entire
Yeah.
time. Near offensive.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I think if it's a who would watch this, it is boys aged 6 to 12.
Yeah.
And I think that's a golden part. And I think if they watch it at that stage in their life, they'll probably remember it forever.
Yeah, I think so. And I think it's I always feel sad, like if some kids sort of look at sort of older films because they want like, oh, I want the merch. Like I'm sure there was some Zathura stuff in the toy stores when we were like 2005. What the hell's a kid gonna do? Imagine a parent like, fuck, what do you mean you like Zathura? How am I gonna get a Zathura doll?
Can I get the Dax Shepard one with the helmet?
Who would watch this? Begrudgingly adults that really don't want to buy their kids toys.
It's just a lot of single parents trying to explain what a 3-day dad week, 4-day mum week
So
is.
you know, see how Tim did 3 days? Well, guess what? I'm getting one a month. So grab that concept around. Anyway, with space. Have fun with it. Carl, thank you so much for listening. What are we doing next week?
We're doing the Hilary Duff classic, Cinderella Story with Jennifer Coolidge and that guy from One Tree Hill.
That guy from One Tree Hill. You guys have been asking for him. Guess what? He's finally on.
People have said they've been standing on the streets going, Chad, Murray, I think he's got these 3 words, but he's in One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill.
And we've heard you, and we need you to stop. Neighbors are concerned.
It's annoying. It's annoying.
I'm not sleeping, but I realize I've come accustomed to the sound, and now I can't sleep without it, and you can't stop, otherwise I'll never get rest again. Never leave me. I love you. Until next week. Bye.
Bye.